Hello everyone and welcome to episode 2 of Chase's Orc Thingy Season 6 All-Stars. So in the last episode, Myth got voted out first boot with 4 votes to his name and 1 vote to Nevid. And now that we are at a tribe of 4, we are now doing our first tribe swap. So we swapped tribes about 30 minutes ago, so I have a little bit of information on some of the things happening in the tribes, but not much has happened because there hasn't been a lot of time for anything to happen. So we have 24 people, so that means we could swap into either 2 tribes, 3 tribes, or 4 tribes. And Pancake decided we are swapping into 4 tribes. So we're going into 4 tribes of 6. So we reused the same ones from last time. We took first place and last place, mostly because I wanted to continue on the Brimstone Curse and see how long it would last. And then we just took second and third place. So on the Infra Astris tribe, or the new Infra Astris tribe, we have John, Nevid, Toaster, Bing, Jaffe, and Oxy. And this is an interesting tribe because Nevid, Toaster, Bing, and Jaffe all played in Season 3 together. And then John and Oxy played in Season 1 together, but Toaster, Jaffe, and Oxy all played in Season 4 together. So there are a lot of crossing paths here. I know Toaster and Nevid work very closely. Toaster and Jaffe have also worked very closely, and Oxy voted against Jaffe and Toaster, so he might have a bit of a target on his back from that. Bing is just kind of thrown in there. Toaster backstabbed Bing, so Bing might want to go after Toaster of them. Toaster might want to go after Bing. Basically, this tribe is wide open. I have no idea what's going to happen with this, but I feel like Nevid, Toaster, and Jaffe are going to be safe and on the right side of the votes if they go to tribal. Next up is Brimstone, Cursed Brimstone tribe. That gets even more cursed, and I will get to that in a minute. But we have Arca, Johnny, Deku, Jace, JB, and Evan. Now, this is also an interesting tribe because Arca and Johnny were on the same tribe, and they were in alliance chat. Johnny does not trust Arca, but they're kind of in an alliance, like very loosely based. Arca thinks that Johnny is, and Johnny's like, eh. Then we have Deku and Jace, who are good friends outside of this game. They're actually both playing together in another org that is a Blood vs. Water season, according to one of my spectators. And then we have JB and Evan, who I've talked about before, and they're friends. But Deku, Jace, JB, and Evan are also friends, and Deku and Jace really want to get out Arca. So if Brimstone loses, I think Arca is kind of screwed. Now on to Toaster's Bitches, which ironically enough, Toaster is not a part of Toaster's Bitches. But on this new tribe, we have Joey, Scout, Chase, Moth God, Asher, and Soccer. So yes, Chase, Asher, and Soccer are on the same tribe again. And then we have Joey and Scout from Season 5. And Scout voted out Joey, and Joey already put in his confessional as soon as he saw he was paired up with Scout that he really wants to get Scout out. Now, I'm not sure if he just said that for comedic value of like, oh, it's Scout, I gotta get her out now, or if he actually wants Scout out, but that's something interesting to look at. And also, Asher is in that weird position of wanting Soccer gone, but also wanting to stay on his good side and work with him. So this should be a very interesting tribal dynamic, and then once again, Moth is just kind of in the middle of this. So this is another tribe that I'm not sure what's gonna happen. But we have the 3-person loose alliance. We have Asher and Scout that want to work with each other. Apparently Joey wants Scout out, so that might get Joey voted off if they lose. And then the final tribe, we have Pantheon. And this one, I have no clue what's going to happen at all. We have Jay, Cosmo, Jack, Norf, Nathan, and Bayback. Now, Nathan and Bayback were an iconic duo from Season 1, but Bayback has said in confessionals that he doesn't want to get attached to anyone in this game because of all the tribe swaps. He doesn't want to play as a tribe mentality. He doesn't want to build up alliances like he normally does in the pre-jury phase. So he's taking this very under the radar, very slow, not really going to talk to that many people that seriously about Game Talker down the road because he doesn't want to get attached to anyone because he's not going to be working with them. So he's really trying to adapt to this twist. You also have Jay and Cosmo in the same tribe again, but I'm not sure how much they want to work with each other. Then you have Jay and Jack, who are friends outside of this game. Then you have Jay, Cosmo, and Norf, who all played in season 5 together, but Norf and Cosmo have that beef, and then Norf and Jay also aren't wanting to work together because Norf wants Scout out and Scout wants Norf out, and because Scout wants it, Jay wants it as well. So Jay and Norf are kind of against each other too. So my guess would be that it would be Norf versus Jay, but there's so many random side plots in here that it is insane. But to get on to why Brimstone is even more cursed. So, for this challenge, as I drop my notes purposely, for this challenge, we are doing a survivor auction. So, we have 8 items up for bid, and the first item is tribal immunity. So, whichever tribe bids the least amount on tribal immunity will go to tribal. But we also have 7 other items that will tempt you. So we have individual immunity necklace that will keep you safe at the next tribal that you attend. We have maple syrup, which I don't know. Do you want to take a risk? It might be something good. It might just be nothing. I might just go, here's some maple syrup. Wait, do you expect something from this? No, it's just maple syrup. Or maybe it's something super good. I don't know. I'll keep you guys hidden from that as well. Then we also have a lot of hidden items, and we have one other item that I'm totally spacing on right now that I probably should have written in my notes, but I will let you guys know about all the items in full detail before we actually get to the challenge. But those are the tribes, and the Brimstone tribe is trying to throw the challenge. So Jace and Deku are talking about throwing it because they want to get out Arca, and Arca is Arca. So of course he's not going to bid on tribal immunity. He has already said in his confessionals, yeah, no, I'm not bidding anything on tribal immunity because I don't care if we go to tribal or not, even though he might be sealing his own fate. So Brimstone is probably going to lose again because of course they are. It's Brimstone. What do we expect at this point? When we were doing the tribe swaps, one person at a time, someone got put on to the Brimstone tribe, and in the tribe chat, their entire tribe went, "Damn, rip, sorry to see you go to tribal council tonight." So, who knows what's happening with Brimstone, but that is the initial tribe breakdowns and what's going on. I'll let you guys know later tonight about what all is happening as well. So I'll probably check in around 1 a.m. like I have been the past few nights. I just checked the other 2 items are influence and an idol check. So that answers that question. Alright, so it is the next day, and not much has really happened. In Brimstone, we still have Jace trying to throw the challenge, and Arca going right into that plan. And Arca also said that he doesn't want to bid on individual immunity because he doesn't need it. So, Arca. But we also have another plan to throw, and this plan is from Joey, who wants to throw the challenge to get rid of Scout. And he wants to work with Soccer, Chase, and Asher. And the 4 of them want to get out Scout. Asher does not seem very keen to do it. He said that he's not in a very good position, and we'll explain later. So I'm assuming not wanting Scout out is part of that later. But Joey is really campaigning to get out Scout, so that should be very interesting. Joey and Soccer are also pretty close right now, and Joey is wanting to use Soccer as a shield up until the merge. Speaking of merge, Bing has said his plan, his master plan for the season, and that is to lay low and make merge have a lot of social connections and social bonds until the merge. But once he gets there, he wants to take 2 people that are sort of kind of rivals, or could be, and pit them against each other, and then play the middle between those 2 alliances that form. He said has worked for him in the past, and that he's seen it work for other people, so he's wanting to try and recreate that magic here in an all-star season. And then finally, Jay and Cosmo, both Season 5 alumni, are wanting to work together now. Jay and Cosmo don't necessarily have the best track record, as they were kind of against each other for most of Season 5, but Jay wants to make amends, he wants to work with Cosmo, and currently they are working a lot and very closely on the idol clue, especially since they have now been in 2 tribes in a row, and Jay is really looking forward to working with Cosmo in this game. So I'll let you guys know some updates before the challenge starts, assuming that there are some. Alright, so the challenge is about to end, and right now we have a few things going on. So, Brimstone is trying to throw the challenge, and by Brimstone I mostly mean Jace is trying to throw it to get out Arca, and we also have Toaster's Bitches that are trying to throw it, and by Toaster's Bitches I mostly mean Joey, who's trying to throw it to get out Scout. However, Soccer has said in his confessionals that he wants Moth God out and Scout out, so Soccer is fine to go for either of them. Also, Scout said that she loves soccer, and Moth God has said that he wants to work with Scout in soccer. So that's an interesting development. But Soccer wants to get out Scout because she's a winner. And after this clip, Soccer actually made a video confessional, so I will put a few of the clips from that video confessional right after this one. I'll also link it below for those of you that want to see it. He also posted a hour-long video confessional talking about episode 1, but he didn't upload it until after episode 1 had ended, so I didn't have that. So I was finished with the video by the time that was made, so I will also link that below as well to watch. And then one final thing is that Nathan wants to get out Cosmo from his tribe, so that should be an interesting development. But right now it's looking like Brimstone or Toaster's Bitches is going to go to Tribal because both of them are trying to actively throw the challenge. So let's get to Soccer's confessionals, then see what happens in the actual challenge.
Joey from season 5, Chase, Asher, both from my first tribe, and then me, the best player in this game. So right off the bat, you have a threesome of me, Chase, and Asher, all from season 1, all from my first tribe in this season. So we are a group of 3. Joey, who I love and just survived tribal, is also on our tribe. So that's a 4. So we have 4 right here. Already created an alliance chat. This is a solid group right here, and I somehow feel okay. I'm not ever safe in this game, but I feel all right. That leaves on the outs Moth God and Scott. Not Scott, Scout. I can't speak. I love you, Scout. This is so upsetting that I'm doing this. Unlike the tribe with JB and Evan, I don't think that we would take the easy way out and vote out Moth God, because why would we take out someone who will not do damage in the game? When Scout, right here, a winner, threatening, everything is right here, like a silver platter, can be voted out swiftly. So, what did our diabolical selves do? Joey and I were on a VC for a while last night, and we hate everybody, pretty much, and so we want to throw the challenge. So, Joey and I both really didn't bid a lot of money on immunity. Asher also is in on the plan to throw and isn't going to bid a lot on immunity. Chase wasn't told that we were throwing the challenge before he did his bid, but I don't think I would have wanted to tell Chase anyway, because Chase kind of seems more like an older school player and probably would want to not throw a challenge. But he has no choice, because me, Asher, and Joey have decided that we would like to lose and vote out Scout, because that will cause chaos, and we love chaos. And so and I really preface if, because there's a chance that I could be being lied to and just voted out, and that would make me look really dumb, but at least you get content. But if this 4 that, honestly, it makes sense for them to stick together, it'd be very smart for them, with Joey, Soccer, me, best player, Asher, and Chase to stick together, beautiful things can happen. This could be a game-changing opportunity. We do have 2 tribals, so I do like the fact that if we do vote out Scout here, if we by chance lose again, Moth God is right there to pick off, and our 4 can go into another swap. So worst case scenario, I think we're fine.
So the challenge is now over. So let us go over some of the results. I'll go over tribal immunity last, and I'll go down the individual items first. So the first item is individual immunity at the next tribal that you go to, and not a single person bid on this. Not 1 out of 24 bid on it, so nobody is going to have that individual immunity necklace come next tribal. The third item was syrup. JB and Soccer both bid 10 on this. You have 100 chase bucks to bid wherever you want. They both bid 10, and then Evan bid 56, and Evan wins the syrup. Now, what is the syrup? The syrup is 1 influence and 1 idol check. Which brings us to the next item, item 4, which is influence. Evan bid 1 on this and won it. So item 5 is a just idle check in general. Evan bid 1 on this as well. Soccer bid 10 on it, but JB wins it with a bid of 20. Item number 6 was covered. Asher bid 60 on this item, and Arca bid 100 on it. But this item is absolutely nothing. It's just a covered, just wood panel that like you lift the covering up and nothing's underneath it. Item number 7, Evan bid 1 on it, Moth God bid 60, and then Joey bid 85 and won it. Item 7 was a extra vote, so Joey has an extra vote for whenever he wants to use it, which is kind of poetic because Jay stole his vote in Season 5, so he gets that vote back. For item number 8, Chase bid 31 on it and fittingly lost because I'm obviously the better Chase. Deku bid 40 on this item, but they also lost to Bayback, who bid 60 on it. This item is a walkie-talkie that lets you cross-tribe communicate with anyone in the game. And finally, we have item 9. Evan bid 1 on this, Soccer bid 60, and Jace bid all of it on it. He bid 100 chase bucks, and Jace wins item number 9. And item number 9 is a Final Four fire making advantage. So come Final Four, Jace will get to decide if it is forced fire making or straight up vote. And if Jace gets voted out before Final Four, he gets to bequeath it to anyone still in the game. Now, for the actual results. Winning this challenge is Infra Astris, who bid all 600 chase bucks on tribal immunity. Not a single one of them didn't bid on immunity. Second place was the Pantheon with $540 bid on it. So we have Toasters Bitches and Brimstone, which makes sense. They're both trying to throw. And with a difference of 284 to 270, Toasters Bitches wins, and Brimstone once again goes back to tribal. The curse continues. But this Brimstone tribe that is going to tribal is JB, Evan, Deku, Jace, Johnny, and Arca. So this should be a very interesting tribal to see go down and see how it goes. Alright, so shit has hit the fan. This vote started out very easily. So Evan made an alliance chat of everybody on the tribe except for Arca. They were just going to vote out Arca. Easy peasy. Jace really wants Arca out, so he's just talking to everyone, and everyone's just like, alright, yeah, sure, I'll go with the easy vote of Arca. Well, things started to change a bit when JB and Deku both got the same idea at about the same time. So their plan is to, instead of voting out Arca, they're going to vote out Johnny, the past winner. So they both brought Evan on board. So now Evan, JB, and Deku are all voting for Johnny instead of Arca. Well, they're leaving Jace completely out of this plan. He has no idea that Arca is going to be safe and that Johnny is going home. And this is because they don't trust him to not blow up the entire plan because of how much he hates Arca. And Jace has already said in confessionals that he wants his parchment for Arca to be read last, but it's the only parchment for Arca, bud. I'm sorry. But their plan is also to vote out Jace at the next tribal if they go to tribal, because the next round is Final 23. And I've already told them that there's not going to be a tribe swap at Final 23. So they all know that they're in these tribes for 2 rounds. So Jace is going to get completely blindsided this vote and Johnny going home. And then they're going to most likely target Jace if they lose this next challenge. So Jace is going to be pissed. And I'm very curious to see how this goes. I'm curious to see if he refuses to work with them or what goes down from this. But all I can say is expect Jace to be pretty mad. But through all of this plan, also Johnny should be voting for Arca, but they don't really know where Johnny's voting for. They left Johnny out of it because Johnny could either vote for Arca or he could vote for Evan with Arca because they threw out Evan as a decoy name, but Evan's not really in any danger. And Johnny has submitted his vote, and he did vote for Arca, but they're not too sure about that, and they were a little bit worried about Arca pulling in Johnny, and then they pull in Jace, and they have a 3-3 vote. However, that is most certainly not happening because Arca blew up in Tribal Council. JB told Arca, yeah, you're going. I'm really sorry. I really wanted to work with you. I just can't. And Arca's trying to plead for his life. Meanwhile, JB is lying her ass off. And she lied a little bit too well. Because in Tribal Council, Arca started yelling at everyone. He tagged everyone individually and gave about a paragraph about why he's mad at them, why they should be voted off, why they shouldn't be trusted, saying things like, you're a snake. My favorite line was, Johnny, if you were a food, you'd be a pancake because you keep flipping sides. And he got into a really big and heated discussion with Jace during this Tribal Council. So I think it's fair to say that Jace isn't going to work with them at all. Also, through this process, Arca earned nothing from the challenge, but it was a covered item, so no one knows that. And Arca has been lying to everyone, saying he has gotten a haunt advantage, which means that if he gets voted out, he will haunt someone and they won't be able to vote at the next tribal, and they will attend the next tribal with no vote, no matter if their tribe loses or not. Now, this is obviously a lie because he got nothing. But he's trying to scare people, and it's actually working. But he's going to hand it to JB just before Tribal Council. So this should be very interesting. But all of the votes are in. It is 3 votes for Arca. 3 votes for Arca. 3 votes for Johnny. Sorry, not Arca. 3 votes for Johnny. 1 vote for Arca. And 2 votes for Evan. Or no... 3 votes for Johnny, 2 votes for Arca, and 1 vote for Evan. So, Johnny, I'm sorry, but you have been the second boot of Season 6. You played really well, but the winner target was just too big on your back, and JB orchestrated a beautiful blindside. So... I'm sorry, GG's, man. Thank you for playing. Also, just to add really quickly, Johnny was also a target because JB wanted to keep Arca in the game because he is a huge target and a huge meat shield for right now, and she thought that Johnny was way closer to Arca and wasn't necessarily going to stick with the plan. He was defending Arca a lot and wary, and so JB and Deku both got rubbed the wrong way and wanted to vote out Johnny because of that. Just to go a little bit more in depth of why Johnny was targeted over Arca or Jace